Now I'm going to show you how to put on some spot putty now that I have a little tripod set up. This is 3M, and anything by 3M is good. They made the glue that holds the space shuttle tiles on, so you can imagine they're really good. They make a lot of good auto body stuff. We're going to use that, and we're going to use this little scraper to put it on. Now you're only going to get 1 or 2 chances before it starts to dry. What we're going to do, if you can see the little marks here, I'm not looking through the viewfinder, so I don't know. Here, these are scrape marks that was caused by me taking off the sticker, and actually it's pretty good. What you want to do is put a little bit on one of the edges here. See, right like that. Then you start at one end and you go over. You do not want to have an edge. See that edge right there? You don't want to have that. You want to have that nice and smooth. That way that you don't have to take your sandpaper and dig all the way around here and here just to get that edge smooth. See, now that's plenty right there for that. Now this is drying because this is lacquer based. It dries very quickly. So you put a little bit more on. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. And we come back and we do it again. Now remember, you may have to do these spot putty 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It doesn't matter. Remember, we're practicing how to do it, and practice makes perfect. I'm teaching you how to do this. I'm doing it for free. I'm giving you 30 years of knowledge. Actually, I'm making it for my son, but my son, like all good sons, doesn't appreciate it. Maybe one day if I'm not here he will. But anyway, we want to get the spot putty so that we don't have any hard edges, and we only want to put a little bit on so that that it can dry quickly and we can redo it. Now, if you look here, remember what I told you about the purple? Right here. Okay, this black here, that's a high spot, because with plastic, it has a strange way of, plastic does not leave the surface. What it does is it moves around. So if you dig a furrow somewhere, then the edge of the plastic will come and pop up. So we know that this area right here is low. Now I can do 2 things. I can use a filler primer on it, or I can come back and put a little bit more spot putty on here. Just a little bit. You can see the first spot, the first area I did right here with the hole in it, and you can see the rips right there. And I think what I'll do, if I can, I'm not real good with a dolly. Okay, now we'll do this again. Now, it's very important that when you go to redo your spot putty, that you keep your deal here. It says caulk. It's pro caulk. Caulkers don't use this. You want to keep this clean. You don't want to have any dry putty on here. Remember, our main goal is to get this panel perfectly mirror smooth as possible for the paintable surface. Put a little bit right on there. And what we have to do is practice. You'll only get 2 or 3 swipes before it starts to dry. Now, I've got a little bit of extra time because it's cold out here, but in the summer, if it were in the summer, then I wouldn't have any time. Now that's a good spot right there. And then we come over here and we'll put a little bit more on. God, I'm a genius. And I'm so good looking that Most of the women worship the water I walk on. I made that up. Doesn't it sound cool? Yeah, you know, I may be old, but I'm still old. All right. Now we've cleaned up that first thing. Keep it off your hands. And we have put on a light amount there and a light amount here. And here, if you'll notice, if you'll look very closely, as the spot putty is wet, it stays red, like in the center here, right here. But as it dries, it starts to turn lighter. Now, it's still very cold out here. It's 50 degrees. I will guarantee you that this will not be dry for another month, at least. Because all the thinners and reducers have got to come out. And as they come out, everything sinks back in. And as it sinks back in on your finished coat will sink back down in with it, and you'll see halos and everything else. But we're not here to do that. What we're here to do is practice. So you can become a great painter like I am, and have like a big older brother standing behind you saying, "Oh, Dad, you got to do a little, here, try a little bit more like that, a little bit more like this. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job." And pretty soon, you'll be a cocky little bastard telling me how to do it. Then I'll say, "You know what, son? I think you've learned all you can from me." And hopefully once you've learned, you'll go out and teach others.